You're such a nice, positive person, but did you ever start writing an obituary and end up not liking the person you were writing about?
Well, did I ever write an obit where I didn't like the person? Yeah, where I would say this is not somebody I would only meet once, okay? I still tried not to render a judgment because whatever he did, I had probably done, okay? I mean, if I'd have thrown a pebble, a whole bunch of rocks would have come back at me and hit me on the head. But yeah, there were people that I just wouldn't want to be around or would bore me to death. You know, I wouldn't want to be around for that reason. But I found out writing obits, most people are good. Most people will tell you the truth. Now, the decades of the 70s, when I was an investigator, and if you're a good one, like Jimmy, he was one of the very best on the street for 4 federal agencies and Philly PD. You start thinking like the bad guys. You want to get the bad guys. Pretty soon you're thinking like the bad guys when you go home. And pretty soon you see everybody running a scam. And you start getting hard, edgy, paranoid. You know, we still sleep with a pistol here, so that's okay. No problem.
It's just a heightened sense of reality.
But you really don't like who you are. It's not who you wanted to be or you might have been before. But 3 or 4 years into writing obits, that went away. I just came back to what I was or what I hoped I would be. And that's somebody that saw most men and women that's good. They would tell you the truth. They would do the right thing. And the ones who don't, that's a form of mental illness. Some get cured, some don't. And what happens to them is a higher authority. Any questions?
Jim, I was asking yesterday, talking to some people privately, I think your spirituality helped you with this. Do you have any other advice on how to de-stress? Because I've been surprised at how much pressure I feel. And I really appreciate what you said about waking up at midnight. That's me.
All the time.
You know, the middle initial. You know?
Yeah.
Did I call him George the Third instead of
If
George
I
the
knew,
Fourth?
if I knew, see, how not to do that, I wouldn't tell you. But you wouldn't be as good as you are or get any better. I'm going to leave you in that stressful state because you'll keep getting better, you'll keep making fewer mistakes, and don't look for the easy way out. You're in a tough racket. If you don't want to play, get out. You're going to have the stress. That's just the way it is. And it's writing the obituary is an incredible challenge. And I know to ease stress of the person you're interviewing, I would do what any interviewer does. I would throw the softballs first. Well, how old was he? What he did? Blah, 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 blah. And then, try to work out. Any other questions?
I just made sort of a comment. I enjoy Marilyn Johnson's book very much, and I enjoy reading about, the other books about, but a lot of writing about obituary talks about British writers and their sardonic, cast of obituaries. And Philadelphia, I find, is a very conservative city.
Yes, it is.
And it just it isn't worth my while not to be nice.
No.
And I don't know what you found.
What you have to understand, Sally, in the British press, we have certain freedoms they don't have in terms of access to criminal records and so forth. But they have greater liberty in their rhetoric and their subjective. The British press is notoriously edgy and sarcastic in all their columns. And the obits is just following a long tradition, and they have that license. No, we can't do a lot of that. When I first started it, and I'm not sure it would be the right thing to be Inquirer anyhow. I came under the security of the Inquirer umbrella. I could be a wise ass, and I knew the Inquirer would bring everybody sanity back. But there were people in my paper who questioned my fast and loose vernacular, street argot, and this sort of thing. And you've seen it if you've read any of my stuff. There were people who objected mildly, but they knew the 800-pound gorilla, Stahlberger, standing behind me. So the little ankle biters sort of went away. They didn't bother me too much.
Just a comment on that. Just to comment on what you're saying about it not maybe being appropriate for Philadelphia. You're also, I mean, I think when the British papers are doing something that's more sardonic, or when I'm doing something that's more sardonic, it's usually about somebody who's got a really big public profile. It's usually about
You have the liberty to do that.
yeah, and so you're much less concerned with talking about the interior, you know, a full life as it's lived within the confines of a family or within the confines of a job. You're talking about someone whose public record is well known, and so
I agree.
You're making a commentary about a public.
I think it's perfectly acceptable, and it's part of the game. The higher the profile, the more freedom you have to attack. And the opposite extreme example of that, and I used to occasionally listen to Don Imus when he was on TV, and some of it went over the edge, but I said, no problem, he's attacking a politician or a celebrity, and they're fair game. But then when he attacked the black girls and basketball team, I never watched him again. That's not right, and I'm sorry. And I don't care about all the apologies, he's out of my life now. And it's like,
I have a comment. I wanted to, you said about us describing you as a rock star. That kind of came from an Intel TV commercial where there's this unassuming man is walking through the coffee maker, and people are going, oh.
our rock stars aren't like your rock stars.
Exactly.
I watch a lot of television.
And I thought that's you.
Well, that's why I brought the entourage, the mature entourage. Is that it? I don't want to do
I just want to say thanks for the comment about another reporter saying, I don't know how to do this every day. I'm hearing that all the time.
Yeah.
So you're tapping in psychically again to what we're experiencing.
And just let me finish by saying, what you have here is elevating the whole craft. I mean, just imagine books, blogs, magazines, and the talent. You people could be anything you want. You don't be the writers. You can be feature writers, columnists, sports writers. You chose to do this, which to me is still astounding. But and I want to get with the land. I want to help behind the scenes where I can to make the organization grow. You're too small. There's too few hands-on people. You can't keep carrying the load. We want to get more people in here. We want to get out of mass mailing. There's 1,214 daily newspapers in this country. Every one needs to get a postage free flyer paid for by the Inquirer. Sign up.
We better wait and see what's going to happen Tuesday.
My pension. Don't talk. If you were an animal, you would be on the endangered species list. Okay? So we want to get to bigger. Thank you so much.